man, like things got rough. Um, I started drinking, a whole lot. I was just very dissatisfied, how things were just going on in life, just far as my disability, I remember going to the doctors one time and, just as, getting older and I was with my mom and, one of the questions, she asked the doctor, would his disability ever get, better? And, the doctor told me, it would never get, any better, it would never get any worse. And I think at that point right there, I was just, hey, I'm just gonna live this life. I'm just gonna live this life because, man, you always, or at least I know I do. I don't know, I can't speak for a lot of people, but when you encounter, someone and they always, got like, oh man, get out that shit, man, you can walk, or, or man, yo, let me go get your crutches for you or whatever like that. I'm about to take the chair from you. I'm like, man, hey, I wish it was that easy, man. For real, I really wish it was that easy. And God got a plan for all of us in life, But yo, man, I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna live it the best way I can. And like I said, at that times I was suspended from my job, giving away giving away free tickets, and one of the guys was being hot, and he was with a couple of people, so it got back to me, and the guy suspended. So I was just like, man, so I'm home at that point, and just trying to figure out what to do with myself, man. I'm just, it's nothing. And this is way out high school, so it's not like, you got, you going to school or whatever like that. But it was just, you're just trying to figure out, what the fuck to do, you know. And like I said, I started drinking a lot, and my ex would, would flare up real bad, like on my back and stuff. And it was nights and times where I had to drink myself to sleep, that I would just get drunk and I'd be like, all right, I'm passing out because of the pain that would hurt, in my arms, or wherever. So it was just, or just feeling a certain type of way, and just as things getting older, and as my muscles got weak in my legs, it was just like really wasn't too many places to go. But after the job situation, fell out, and I got suspended. Eventually I got my job back, but that whole scenario of working there was just, man, crazy, because I always tell a lot of people, some people who work there, man, said it was just nothing but favoritism going on, man. I had the privilege to work with both of my sisters, my oldest sister Robin and my other sister Antoinette. My Antoinette was there first, of course, and I remember getting a job in the beginning, and my other sister, she was looking for a job, and she came up there, filled out that application, man. She was a little bit late on her job interview, but she got the job. But something went down, I guess, with my other sister Antoinette, and she just like, fuck it, I'm through. They ain't paying us that much, and at that time, they was just, the minimum wage was just only $7 an hour. And nowadays they raising it up to 15 or whatnot. But yeah, and after that, it was just me and Tish, me and my big sister, we was working there, and she can, she got, her opinions. Everybody do, but it was just certain managers. I just felt like it was nothing but favoritism, and of course, I also had to prove myself, being being in the wheelchair, and not just, that I can just sit at a computer and just fill in Crown Cup cards. So, at times went on, we had a meeting and was like, okay, all right, you could be in box office, and I was down there, and man, a big incident came where I was moving too fast, and I remember putting the $100 bill in the drawer, and boom, I must have slipped up and gave it back. And they looked at the camera, was like, hey man, you had to give it back because you're $100 short, and just that whole scenario there, and just feeling, like working there, I couldn't accomplish things. Just being so young, I was looking at myself. Everybody got keys, and how my hands was, and it was steps, and it was just so much, in my life going on at that time that I was dealing with. Just man, I was at a rocky state. I was really at a rocky state. You know, I remember, when my eczema was so bad one time, man, I didn't have no cream, I didn't have nothing to put on, and my mom, asked, she got something, to put something on my back, some type of lotion, but at that point, lotion, man, it burned, in my opinion, it burned. So, and I cried, I really, really cried, and it was just like, I was just like, I just wish it, can get better. I was also asking why, why me and stuff, why me? And, the fact that my eczema, would look a certain way or feel a certain way, I would, like I said, start drinking a lot. And there would be times where, I find myself hiding the bottles. Hiding the bottles under the bed, and my mom would ask me, everything all right? I'm like, yeah, everything, everything good, and I mean, whether it wasn't or not, whether it was or wasn't, I just felt like, I mean, I got eczema, there's really nothing, we can do at this point, what I mean, but eventually, it would wind up getting better, but the drinking habit, man, just continued, but just feeling, depressed, just feeling, you know, like I said, the world sees you, has a disability regardless, I mean, I ran across something and it was just like one day, just one day, if I can just, maybe wake up and just experience, what it's not like to have a disability, but hey, man, life is crazy. Life is crazy. And feeling so down and just, working where I was at, after, coming back, I'm, just being, like I said, young and dumb, man. And I wrote a note, to the job and was like, yo, man, I'm out. I don't see my, a future here, some things to that effect, I don't really remember. Took some money out the drawer and left, man. And for a long time, I felt bad about myself. I felt some type of way. I mean, eventually they called me back. Not me. I bought the money back. And I bought the money. I bought the money back. I kept 200 of it, but I bought the money back, gave it to him, and I told the GM, man, yeah, I'll give it to you when I get my taxes. And everybody, man, when they say, yo, I'll give it to you when I get my taxes, be bullshitting. But I gave, the rest to my taxes, and, we just, went our separate ways, But, from there, it was just like, man, like, damn. And that was the, first and last job, that I had, since then, but, I just, like I said, man, the only thing that, I had, of course, was my family. I'm living with my mom at this time, of course, and, like I said, my family. And at this time, I'm sitting home. My sister done got her, my older sister got her a new place. So, I'm at home. I'm watching wrestling. My sister, she ain't got the job no more too. So we got little stories to talk about, over that, but also, just getting closer, And, prior to that, man, me and my sister would bump heads like a mud, man. Bump heads and just, you get on my nerves or you get on my nerves or whatever the case may be, man. And my sister was pregnant at the time. She was pregnant at the time, but, man, they always say, if a woman's pregnant, and I guess when you get on their nerves, the baby sort of look like you. But I mean, hey, man, the whole time my sister was pregnant, I guess I was the one. I guess I was the one to pluck with or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, man, but also because in that whole time I remember like, having like a WrestleMania party, and she would just not want to just be in a room, not want to be around. But, as soon as after she had the baby, everybody was like, oh, man, she looked just like, just like you. I'm coming home from work and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, she's so little. And at that point, like, my sister, she was the first one to have a baby. It's kind of like still new. So I'm like, man, I guess she looked like me, if you look at my baby picture, but man, we did get on each other's nerves, but then at that time, we just got closer, and playing with my, niece. Now she getting older, she getting bigger now, but time flies. But yeah, man, we got closer and she started watching wrestling. It just was them times I'd just be sitting there watching wrestling, and she bit into it. She bit I guess she wanted to say she got the bug. She caught the bug, but she caught the bug and she didn't know, it was, choreographed, or, whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna use the word fake, but she figured out what it was. And I mean, she didn't know what it was, and she was so invested into it. And I was like, oh my goodness, and I remember the time where like John Cena got fired or whatnot, and she cried, and I was like, like, are you serious? So I literally had to I had to tell her, what it was, and then that's when she was like, oh, okay, and but ever since, man, we would, watch Monday Night Raws, man, and go to live events and stuff like that, man. It was awesome, bro. It was really, really awesome. At that times, man, for real. Yo, this joint about to be interesting though. When they had the sniper here in DC, man. For real, that shit was crazy, man. Growing up, I think it was around 2002. It was around 2002, man. It was not even too long after the 9/11 joint and all the wars and stuff, man. And the sniper shit was going crazy. For real, I remember one time, my sister didn't come home. I think on time, and my mother cooked out, because she was like, "It's a sniper, going around DC, killing people for no fucking reason." But man, it was crazy, man, growing up, in DC too, because at school couldn't go out for recess. Like, it was crazy because one of the moments I remember, it hit close to family. It really hit close to family. My cousin was just getting dropped off to school. In Bowie, Maryland. And, they shot one of the kids in the stomach. Kid survived though. But, it was crazy, man. Through times, man, just trying to also just figure out life. Like I said, I got the letter from a college back from CCDC to say, I was accepted. I was going to school there, and my mother broke down, and I was just, still undecisive whether I wanted to go or not. And before then, I was like, everybody was like, man, I don't put nothing past a dude in the wheelchair. And hey, I just had to, everybody had to do whatever, man, whether it was selling weed or whatever, just trying to make some type of money, and realizing, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. So I always knew initially what I wanted to do, man. Like, I wanted to be involved in some type of editing. I wanted to be in the video production field. You feel me? Like, I want to be the guy where, you go to the movies or you watching your favorite TV show and that joint come up and say produced by such and such, hey, like that's me. Or you saw that nice commercial or that video package. That's what I always wanted to do. But man, after times, went by, I was just like, man, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to school. And I went to school for a little bit, here in DC, CCDC, man, getting there for a while. It was, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it was cool because I was like, I get to meet some, new people. It was some people that was there, went to went to high school with me. But at that time I was just like, yo man, this ain't me. Like I really want to be more so hands on, And at that time, since I couldn't be so more hands on, I would go home and just take the laptop that I had and just record shows, my wrestling shows, like I'm the host, and just do my things, and they'd be like, man, can you turn that down or whatever like that. And I remember at times my mom was like, hey, I know you can't wait to get your own place so you can blast it all out and everything like that. I was like, I sure can't, you feel me, like I sure can't wait. But yo man, it was just like it just the school thing, man, just wasn't for me, man. It just wasn't for me, and I commend everybody to go. Met some great people, some great times, throughout it though. But it just wasn't for me. And at that point too, I was also just wanting to just get my own place. My mom always told me, the day of tomorrow, man, we don't know our time, here on earth. And she wanted to make sure, I had my own spot, and I'm good, throughout, anything, and went down to put my name on a lease. And like I said, man, me and my sister Bond got closer, hey, my older sister, man, all my bonds with all my, sisters and brothers were also dope. My little brother just got on my nerves, I guess because, we had to share a room, and, half of the time he was gone, but then, he had come back, but it's my room too. But it ain't your room, it's my room now, man. Like, nah, bro. Like, but I mean, like, what brothers don't fight, man? But I mean, hey, don't, we get it over with. We love each other. Put it like that, man. Ain't all that crazy crap. But oh man, yeah, just through that times, um, me and my sister, got close. So, going down to housing and putting my name down on the lease, and it was like, yo, I put my sister name down on the lease too, and it was like, yo, man, for real, hope this come through. And I prayed on it, and man, it came through fast. It came through fast, and I got my first place, man. I got my first place. It was, of course, some, course ramblings, course loops that I had to go through. They called me the first time. The place wasn't even wheelchair accessible. You feel me? So I got the first place, and the first place that I would wind up moving to will actually be where my cousin father got killed at. You feel me? My mom didn't like it at all. My auntie didn't like it. None of them liked it. But the crazy thing about it is, it was just like, I'm getting older. You feel me? I want my own space. I just, I want to do what I wanted to do. You feel me? I'm single. What if I wanted to bring a big booty hoe in that joint, and you feel me? Just be like, yeah, you feel me? And then at times, we was smoking, so it was like, my mom was like, hey, yo, go outside. And it was like, hey, man, like, police already be riding down the parking lot, like, man, I ain't, I ain't harming nobody. And that's also how I felt like when I was drinking, man. Like, people would just be like, man, slow down, like, and, like, have a drink every now and then, And I was like, man, I ain't harming nobody. Like, I'm just in the cut, minding my business, watching wrestling. I'm not harming nobody. But, hey, I of course, I understand, in the long run. Hey, you gonna wish you slowed down, but man, yeah, I was just like, yo, I want my own place. So I took the first offer because, of course, they show you three. So I took the first offer, man, and I moved around Lincoln Heights, man, in Washington, D.C. And, I loved it, and I was only there for 6 months, I was only there for 6 months. But like I said, my mama did not like it at all, man, So, for real. But man, things kind of turned around here, man, because this is also where me and Brittany, will come back to one another. I mean, we ain't talked since what, maybe like until from like junior high school or whatever like that. We saw each other in high school, but I messaged her. And I'm just, I'm lonely. You feel me? I'm lonely. The other one, the other shorty who, I was with in junior high school, didn't want nothing to do with me no more, but I still had the same number, and she'll still kind of reach out. And I'm like, man, what do you want? What do you want? Bye. Like, what do you want? But Yo, I just reached out to Brittany one day, and of course, she was, going through, I guess, a breakup at the time, and she ignored me. So, she hit me up, and I was surprised, and I was like, wow, this was like at the end of 2012, and I remember saying, man, you gonna be my girl, I'm gonna marry you, and we've been chatting it all since then, man, chatting it off since then. Ah, man.
Man, life. Life is so precious, man. And in life, we make mistakes, we make bad decisions. But it's also how you react to those mistakes and bad decisions you have succumbed in your life. Life, man, it's precious. Cherish it each and every day with your loved ones, your family. Cherish life.